Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to T2R Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check T2Radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at T2 Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is David, your acting host for T2 Radio Soaps and Review, and it's just me and the girls today. I got Candace and Carolyn.
Lucky you.
Welcome.
Woohoo!
Yeah, lucky. Woohoo! Lucky me. Anthony is out of town. Pam is doing other things. And that leaves us to man the ship here. Welcome, ladies.
How was everyone's weekend?
Short. It's short. I miss my cousins already, and they leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the time goes by fast.
It does.
Yeah. Short.
Especially
That's all I
can
say. It's short, and it's back to work as usual. So why don't we start off? What is the main soap news, Candace? You got news on this writer's strike coming up?
Man, we got. I feel like I'm CNN when it was actually good. Okay, so this is T2 Radio News Update. Now here's Candace Matt. Hey, y'all. Okay, here's what's going on. We're in week 4 of the writer's strike, of the WGA strike, with no end in sight. All they want is to be paid, folks. Pay the people. Just as like people need to get paid to pay the teachers. So I'm just saying, pay the writers. Because without the writers, we have no shows, no movies. And here's the thing, there's a list of shows and movies that are not continuing because of the writer's strike. As far as it goes for daytime, because everybody is worried about this. Here's the deal. Prior to the writer's strike, Bold and Beautiful, General Hospital, and Young and the Restless has 6 to 8 weeks of material that's going to last until mid-June, early July, okay? With Days of Our Lives fans, you have nothing to really worry about because obviously Days of Our Lives takes 5,000 years in advance. However, you will notice something. I mean, I'm keeping it real. You will notice something towards the end of the year, early next year. However, there's a big hiccup.
Oh, no.
As the WGA strike is happening, there's also 2 other unions that are starting the voting process of another strike. Now, many of you guys may or may not know that there's been a lot of actors who have sided with the writers during the strike. Hence why there were some other things that happened. We'll get to that in a minute. So with the SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Guild, voice-over talent and everything else like that, they're starting their voting process a little bit early. Essentially, the voting was supposed to start later on next month. However, they're going to start it now because of everything that's going on. Now, the SAG contracts for some of these actors ends on June 30th. I feel like I'm really being on the news right now. So basically, it's like a contract. It's a cycle contract for every year that they sign. It's like from June 2022 to June 2023, which is where we're at right now. There's some factors of more money, also health insurance coverage, because as some of you may or may not know, that's sometimes not covered. take a look at Jane Elliott, because that's why Jane Elliott is back on GH, because of the medical stuff. Anyway, so because of the streaming service platforms, Netflix, Disney Plus, and everything, we're not giving them money. Some of the actors feel as though, hey, we're also being slighted as well, so we're going to side with the WGA, which means, folks, they already did a round one. Round one is to see where everybody's mindset is, and right now, unanimously, it's a yes, meaning that they're in favor of a strike. If they do it again in the next couple of days, we're going to have two unions on strike. We're going to have the writers and the actors, which means we ain't going to get nothing. But wait, there's more. Because also on June 30th, another contract that ends is the Directors Guild Association Union. And I don't think I need to tell y'all what that's about, but it's the directors who feels as though they also deserve a little cheddar cheese. And if we have three unions, then I'm going to tell you this, like I've been saying, it's going to be a very interesting summer and an interesting rest of the year. ABC, if y'all been following ABC, they put out a schedule which is considering what if the strike continues on towards the fall season. And, yes, folks, that actually might be a possibility here. They already come up with an alternative schedule with it, which features a lot of reality shows because, as we all know, reality television is not scripted, even though some of them is, but we're not supposed to say that. So pretend y'all didn't hear that from me. And also they're going to have reruns of Albert Elementary, which is the big successor right now. Like, that's the big show for network. As far as daytime goes, I'm pretty sure if they run out of episodes, we'll do just like when COVID happened. You remember that, where they will show encore presentations of your favorites of Young and Restless, Bold, and General Hospital, and, hey, maybe even Days of Our Lives later on in the year. With that being said, Candace, do you have any more news? Yes, I did. Because of the WGA, I really feel like I'm on the news. I swear I did. Because of the strikes and everything, there was some major award shows that was delayed. It started off with the MTV Awards, which they had pre-assembled. You know, Drew Barrymore was scheduled to be the host, but she backed out, and she's in favor of the WGA because without the writers, you have no script, right? Okay. But they were fine. They pre-taped everything. They were fine. The next award show was the Tony Awards, Broadway's biggest night. I mean, seriously, all jokes aside, I actually have some people that was actually nominated. But because of the strike, at first they postponed it. They actually canceled it. But then they came to a decision that they were going to go off the wall, meaning you can pretty much write your own dialogue and everything else and read it on TV. So God help us all. Because also the WGA, because there's a lot of groups that are picking outside of certain places, like in California at Paramount Plus, CBS Studios, in New York City out front of Rockefeller Center, and also down in Times Square area. So their main concern was they didn't want to interrupt that. So that's where we're at. So the WGA strike will not affect the Tony Awards. Now, the same week as the Tony Awards, there was another big award show. Mm-hmm. And if I sound a little bit upset, it's because I am a little bit. As we all know, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the Daytime Emmy Awards, which was going to be on June 16th on CBS, home of Young and Restless and Bold and Beautiful, Guy Light, National World Times, and Capital, just to name a few. The decision was made last week. I'm going to cry. Last week by Adam Sharp, who's the CEO of NASA, who said because of the strike and whatnot, it would be in best interest to postpone. Let me say that again, because a lot of people thought it said cancel. It's actually being postponed until there's an agreement reached with the WGA as well as SAG, the DGA, so they can give you us, the fans, as well as the nominees, a great show. So there is no daytime Emmys so far this summer. Until further notice, everybody has to wait to find out who is going to win the Lady in Gold. And, yeah. Back to you in the newsroom.
Thank you, Candace. Thank you,
That's
Candace.
just one main story because there's so many other news stories in daytime. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to say this. I think we all, you know, this is the reality. The reality is that, you know, once they did say that the WGA was going to go on strike, obviously we all thought about the daytime Emmys, about the soap, because, again, without the writers, there's nothing. Once they had said the Tony Awards, I think more so like MTV, and this is not a dig, they already had it already pre-taped and everything, because sometimes it's not live. Don't tell nobody I told you that. But I think the Tonys and the daytime Emmys, and I think the fear is that they were going to wait until the 11th hour to make the decision about the daytime Emmys, which would have sucked for a lot of people, especially if they were flying to California. Just saying. So I think I agree with what Adam said, because I don't want a put-together show. I want a well-put-together show, especially because it's a milestone. Yeah, it's a milestone. So, you know, I will say take your time, but can we please strike an agreement with the WGA, please? Because it also affects it, and also these strikes also affect your favorite audio podcast, soap opera.
Yep,
they do.
Yep.
So
it's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect.
It is. It's a ripple effect. Yeah. So it's not just TV. It's not TV. It's not film. It's literally like audio, you know, visual stuff like that. Crystal Chappelle, for those who follow Crystal Chappelle, she made an important announcement about season 7 of Venice, which was going to start they were going to go into production later this summer, but because of the WGA and the SAG and all that, they're going to hold off. So yeah, this is affecting everything for. You know, like all these shows are wrapping up their seasons right now, but the 2023-2024 TV season, film season, and everything is on hold until all of this is resolved. So, yeah.
Now, do you know exactly what they're asking for? Is it more money? It sounds like they want some.
It's more money. It's more money because some of the streaming, like again, some of these shows, like Albert Elementary, Law and Order, as well as some other shows, they're getting more from streaming services like Netflix and Amazon and Disney than like regular viewing. So basically, they want the money. They feel it's sort of like, okay, we work for a network, we get 25%. Okay, but on Hulu and everything, if our stuff is being shown on that network or, you know, that platform, we should at least get at least 55% of, you know what I'm saying, instead of like 25, because 25% is literally, and I'm going to, because one of the writers had actually said 25% of their income is to take care of medical bills as well as rent as well as food. However, 55% would take care of a lot more.
Right.
Right. So, yeah. So let's think about this. A lot of writers aren't making what we think they're, like, making, you know. So, you know. So, like I said, I support the writers. We don't know. Now, here's the thing regarding the soaps. We all know that Ron Carlivati is a part of the union. Ron, I thought you weren't, because back in the last time when we had, he wasn't there. But, okay. But Ron is, and some other people. So here's what we do know. We do know that Josh Griffin is at Young and the Restless. He's non-union. He's non-union. He's 5 Corps. Now there's been rumors of who might be going where. Days of Our Lives fans, you actually have 2 F Corps members, Fran Myers and Jeannie Marie Ford. Hey, girls. I want to give a shout out to you guys. Over at General Hospital, there's rumors that Gary Tomlin may go over to there, which will be very interesting because Gary Tomlin, as most of you guys remember, he was in charge of One Life to Live back in the early 2000s. So that's the Frank connection right there. Bold and Beautiful, don't know. Don't know who could be the up-core over there. Kate Alder is, but I don't know if she, if she's going to retire, if she's officially retired, or if she would come out to do this. So stay tuned.
Now, does anyone know, are they negotiating every day, or is it quiet now?
They're negotiating every day. Like earlier today, they were trying to get some kind of movement. We don't know anything else, but until further, probably later in the week. But like I said, this is week 4 now, and if y'all want to know, the longest I think the last strike. I know there was one strike that was 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months?
Yeah.
Oh. That's
because a lot of people try to figure out what happened during the last strike, and so here's all what went down. We had Adam coming back. There was so much going on the last strike. So you had Kayla was pregnant on Days of Our Lives. What else happened on Days? It was a wild time. I can tell you that much. It was like
it was.
Yeah. So,
now what happened? What happened with the actors on the last strike? Did they find other work or what?
Here's the interesting part. They usually So
they were
this will be
good.
a first. This will be a first in many years that both unions will go on strike, because usually they'll work a deal out with the SAG president before the final vote. Right now is vote 1, which right now everybody is it's sort of like election day, but the unanimous vote so far is yes to a strike. But what they're doing is taking another vote around to see if everybody, because here's the thing, if it's at 98.9%, just like the WGA, it goes strike. We go strike on midnight. And what that will mean is that people who are non-union, well, if you're non-union, hey, you get your moment in the sun. However, I think everybody is a part of the union. So this is going to be, that's why I said it's going to be real interesting, because there's so many things at stake with this. And just to let some people know, because I say this all the time, there was a couple of shows that, because of the strikes, was canceled. And I don't want to put the fear in anybody, because I don't think they would do it to a daytime show. But the last primetime show that was affected by this, there was actually 2. There was Heroes. You guys remember Heroes on NBC?
Yeah.
And also Pushing Daisies.
Oh.
Which was my show. Darn it.
Yeah.
But so it's I will say that it's a very interesting time right now. And I think, we talk about these soaps all the time here, in case y'all didn't figure that out. And there's some times that I think, I'm particularly loud about it, is that, these writers, they have a hard job. They really do. And so it's going to be interesting, because I know some people are when I just remember when the last strike happened, I think it was GH and maybe Days that was kind of affected the hardest, and same thing right now. So we'll see what happens, but.
Now, what are they saying? What are the actors saying on
social media? Well, a lot
they support the writers.
Yeah, they're supporting it. They're really supporting it. I mean, we've seen, from Days of Our Lives, we saw Christopher Sean, who will be returning back to the show. Greg Rickard. There's some other people that Yeah.
Didn't
So
we
I
just
think
see
everybody.
Sebastian Lachey?
Oh yeah, Sebastian. I had something to say, and I stopped myself because I was like, But the Superior Jack's brother. Anyway, but he he's in support. I mean, everybody is in support of the writers because, again, without the writers,
you don't have anything.
Right. I mean, because let's see, what was it? Like, I'm just going off the top of my head. Like, in 1988, there was a strike.
88.
And that,
I remember that.
That happened, let me see, that's when Frisco and Jussie was killed off of General Hospital, All My Children.
I told you what was on As the World Turns during that time.
Yeah.
It was it was the Fatal Attraction with Bob Hughes, and they used the character's name was Laura Simmons.
Yeah.
And she was the Glenn Close part. Yeah, she had the Glenn Close role.
Right.
And that didn't last long, and she was involved with one of the ranch hands, Bo. That was her brother, and boy, that was a mess watching that. I tell you, with the writers, that was a mess. I swear they just picked up the script for Fatal Attraction and just put in their names where they belong.
Yeah, they probably scrambled. You're probably right.
But yeah,
today's a different time. Oh boy, this is not good.
It's hard. No.
I mean, it's crazy because it's crazy because, again, I think everybody's more concerned and I get it because you don't want certain storylines to change, and here's the thing. For the first part, it could change. Because right now, when you have the new people come in, they do have to follow the outline that was given by the, the breakdown. After that material runs out, they get to do what they want to do. And, I mean, that's the reality is that things can change, and I remember me saying when I heard about it, I said the two shows that's probably going to be affected the most is General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. Sorry, GH and Days fans, I know what you're going to say, but Young and Russell's, I mean, Josh Griffin is over there, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Don't know who they're going to have for Bowl. If they do have Kay Adler, nothing really is going to change because Kay knows that show inside and out. But, with Days and GH, it could get either better or it could just be at a standstill until, So, yeah. So
how many employees are involved? I mean, you're talking makeup, hair, cameraman, costume. I mean, it's got to be.
They're not. Well,
makeup.
The thing is the makeup, that's a whole different division right there. Which not
going to work.
They still won't work.
Yeah.
They're still not going to work if the actors
that's the
working.
after. That's the after part of SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, that's the SAG-AFTRA. Yeah. Like if everybody goes on strike, I will say this: if everybody goes on strike, if Hollywood, New York, Chicago, if everything is shut down, it's going to be because I'm sure have you guys heard about AI, right?
The artificial intelligence.
Okay. Basically, that's the fear that makes
they don't want AI.
They don't want it. And the thing is that I don't know if you guys saw. There's a commercial, an AI commercial with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
But it's not Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Yeah. All about it.
And so it's one of those scary things that it's like, okay, just pay these writers. They deserve it, and also you know, and I'm going to say this because I deal with SAG and everything, because we do have SAG Efron actors on Forever and a Day, that, you know, their hard work does not go unnoticed, especially with us. But there has to be some changes. Insurance is one of them.
Insurance.
Don't get me started. Please don't. But there has to be some major changes, because this is not 2007 anymore. This is 2023 and 2024 now. A lot of things have changed financially as well as mainstay. Streaming service shows are more popular than network shows, which is completely a flip from a couple of years ago where network ruled. You know, think about it. We had Friends. Friends was the most dominated show on network, followed by Law and Orders and NYPD Blues, ER, Grey's Anatomy. You know, before that in the 88, it was all about must-see TV. You know, times have changed, and you have a lot of streaming platforms, you know, like Netflix, who garners almost $2.4 billion.
Yeah.
Amazon, you know, all these shows, you know, all these platforms are getting, and the CEOs are not, you know, giving it to the people that help create that dynasty. Without the writers and these actors and the hair and makeup and the catering, and I'm just going to do my award speech right now. Without everybody, you know, from the bottom to the top, you don't have a platform. Cable. Yeah, I'm even going to go lower than that. I'm going to give a shout out to the janitors who cleans up the studios after they finish with whatever they're doing. The fluffers, the people who do the laundry, the caterers, the bakers, the transportation people, the people that wash the windows and be like, the people who bring some people coffee. Everybody, you know, the skincare people, because, you know, there's some people who need some waxing on those shows. I ain't going to say no names. But, you know, it's like, it's really a factory. It's a well-oiled machine, and if you know, don't oil a certain part, the whole machine falls apart, and you can't substitute it. You know, I would be honest, I have friends who were part of the union who was not a part of the union, and I'm just like, I support all y'all. Like, I support the writers in the WGA, the SAG. Like I said, I have friends who are non-union. But this is weird because this is a pinnacle of, I mean, seriously, this is really putting a lot of things in jeopardy. And, you know, they were announcing the primetime schedule this year. There was upcoming movies that are now being pushed back because of all this. So, it's an award show. I mean, come on now, like, so it's crazy. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts, I'm gonna put a deadline on this. I'm gonna say it by at least September. Everything should be back to normal. Hopefully.
Oh,
we'll see.
Say a prayer.
Yeah.
They help.
And once the strike is over with, then we'll find out when the 50th annual Daytime Emmys on CBS happens.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's hit the days. Let's hit days.
Oh, you didn't want to do any more news?
What other news?
I mean, we got news.
Is there more?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Is there more?
We want to send our thoughts and prayers to the GH, the Bay, Misguided, and the Zeman family on the sudden loss. I mean, with Jackie Zeman.
Yes.
I said this last night on Soul Party. That I think all of us are still in a state of shock. I think some of the shock has worn off. But it was just because we literally just saw her on General Hospital maybe 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at that. And I think it was Wednesday night that we all found out, even Wednesday or Thursday, that we found out around, it was like 9:45, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, that we found out that Jackie passed away from Frank Valentini. She had she was dealing with a short battle of cancer. and she died prior to Mother's Day.
Are they keeping quiet, or is there any release on what kind of cancer or how long she knows?
They did say how long she's known about it or what type of cancer. I think we found out later that night that it was cancer, which kind of just shook everybody a little bit. Because General Hospital is doing such a be nice, Candace.
They said the other actors didn't even know, so
a lot of the actors did not know because I know that Laura Wright, she took it the hardest, and right, you got to understand that in interviews, Laura Wright said that after her parents died, because she lost her parents back to back, Jackie Zeman took her hand and held her. So this was the ultimate shock. Tony Geary. My God, he talked about that. Ken Shriner, like everybody was just caught off guard. I think Michelle Von Jean also was like, "Wait, is this serious? Is for real? Is this legit?" But the thing is that I'll speak for myself. I was on Twitter and I saw Frank Valentini on, and I was like, "Well, he's never on this late tweeting." I'll be honest, I'm not stalking. I'm just saying. But I saw a picture of Jackie Zeman, and it started out saying, for 45 years, Bobby Spencer has been a pinnacle, And I'm thinking, I'm kind of getting myself prepared to see that, maybe she's announcing her retirement, after 45 years. Yeah. And so when it says, I'm beyond devastated to announce that Jackie Zeman has passed away, and I was like, wait. Let me reread that because my eyes are playing tricks on me here. And I saw it, I re-saw it, I was like, okay, zoom in on this part, and they was like, our deepest sympathy goes out to, our condolences goes out to the family and friends, and I was like, wait, and then I looked up again, and then the official General Hospital page also confirmed it, then Soap Opera Digest confirmed it, then Deadline confirmed it. So it wasn't like TMZ or anything, like you got it straight from that person, and it was just like it ricocheted. Like this is seriously me. This is how I was acting because I was just like, wait, time out. Jackie Zeman, like the Jackie Zeman, Jackie, like Bobby Spencer. Sophia Madison on the Bay, for those who watch it, and on the sky, no, I'm not going to believe this. Yeah. And I think all of us was in denial because it was such a shock because, we literally just saw her at Michael Willow's wedding. We literally just saw her at the nurses' ball where they gave a fitting tribute. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's times where I've been rewatching that scene when Carly is giving Bobby her flowers, like saying, this is what a nurse is, stuff. And I'm like, did somebody know? Like, I don't think everybody knew. I do believe that, but I think certain people knew because it was just like, it was a nice, but I'm reading into it as much. But when they said that she had filmed her final episode, I was like, oh boy! I was like, so I know, and I'm going to say this. I know that one of the main thoughts that all of us had when we heard that Jackie passed away. One of my first thoughts was to her daughters because it was Mother's Day weekend. It was Mother's Day. It was a couple of days before Mother's Day, and that's the hardest. The first year without your mom. But also, I think all of us unanimously was thinking, okay, General Hospital, how are you going to do this? Yeah. And we don't know anything. Right. Well, here's the thing. We don't know because of the timing and everything. Keep in mind, General Hospital is 6 to 8 weeks out, but because there's this writer strike, right? Okay. We don't know.
Well, did you see her commentary on Twitter? Like, to me, she looked weak. Like she wasn't her vibrant self. No. I don't know if you saw what I did.
The thing is that Jackie was scheduled to do fan events. in the next couple of weeks with Ken Shriner and Lynn Herring, which, by the way, Coastal Entertainment, with General Hospital, they've, postponed it to give time, like Uncle Vinny's, to give time for the cast to mourn. I see her videos, just like you said, in the morning where she's like, well, good morning, I'm thinking of you and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't notice it.
I did.
No, there was one. I mean, it's after the fact, but I know there was one, and it just seemed. She said, "Oh, I know she's been on there a long time, but it was a lot of thank you." And if you find it again, if you watch it close,
because I mean, she did commentary for General Hospital 60th. Like they were showing like videos of that, the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
And
she looked very thin. She looked very thin.
Well, to me, I'm gonna, and this is not a shame or anything, but she's always been, she was an active dancer, and she, did stuff here and there and stuff like that. So to me, I always, and I've met her before, so she was always small to me.
Yeah, too.
Yeah. But it was a state of shock for everybody, and again, we don't know what General Hospital is going to do regarding if they're going to address Bobby, whether they're going to kill her off or they're going to send her somewhere else. I will say this. Me personally, I don't know, I want them to, how can I say this? Because
you want them to honor it.
I want them to honor it, and the thing is that because there's a strike and everything, I mean, I'm sure GH is going to address it. But I don't want a put together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to put together. I want it to be honored. I want her to be honored because because I will always be salty. I'm sorry, General Hospital. And Jackie, you know how much I said this. I'm still salty they never gave her an anniversary episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still.
So they got a lot of making. Yeah, they got a lot of making up to do.
Right. So to me, and the week that they announced her passing was the anniversary of one of the most iconic storylines in daytime on General Hospital, BJ's Death.
Sorry.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, that also Lexi Ainsworth has exited the role of Christina. Kate Mansing will be stepping in this week as Christina. Of course, we all know about Haley. I'm not going to get into it like I did last night on Soul Party, but I will say this. Haley, I'm glad that you're getting some help. I am truly supporting you 110 like everybody else. You recognize the problem. I hope you did. I hope this was a wake-up call. And like I said, if anybody who is listening to our show, if you or somebody you know has the red flags and whatnot, hold their hand and be there for them for when they have that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but wasn't she involved in a hit and run about a year ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's habitual. I mean, and I read the article, and it was all flipped out about a blouse or something she had on.
And that's what I said. I mean, I'm going to, okay, see, y'all blame her.
She should have spent the $400 on an Uber instead of
I was going
worrying
to say,
about her
like, last night, because here's the thing. All right, when a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to get into our recap, don't worry. When she tweeted out, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, saying, hey, the role, I'm okay. I was involved in an accident, but I'm fine. Because that's when we found out they're going to temporarily recast the role of Molly as well. And then we hear about this accident that happened a couple of weeks ago. And the first thing I said was, you got to be kidding me, right? I saw the video. I saw the video of the accident, where the accident happened. I saw the photos. First and foremost, like I said last night on Soul Party, because I kind of got, and I'm going to explain why I got really upset about it. First and foremost, the 27-year-old and Haley better be counting their blessings that they made it out.
Oh, sure. I mean, they're lucky.
That's one.
Alive. Yeah.
That's one thing. Two, I'm having a real issue with if Haley was by herself or somebody saw the condition she was in, why didn't anybody stop her from getting behind the wheel? We live in a world that has some things called an Uber, a Lyft, one of those thingies and everything. You mean to tell me nobody, including you, Haley, and I know you was under some influences and everything because there were some reports about that, like nobody said, no, you're not driving. Even if I saw, like, if I saw one of these two, you know, like if I'm just partying with my friends, but I see somebody who's intoxicated or something getting behind the wheel, even if I don't know you, guess what Candace is going to do? I'm going to throw myself on top of the car to make you stop, and I'm going to take the keys out of your hand.
Take the keys away.
Yep.
And for those who don't know what all happened, I don't want to understand how you did. So basically, what happened was Haley was under the influence, alcohol and some edibles, according to TM Safe. She got into her car, and she went. Instead of going northbound, she went southbound.
She was going the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the whole traffic thing. So people so in other words, it was the opposite on the freeway. And she clashed into not only the one passenger, but it was another car as well. And when I say that the cars were totaled, I used to work in a car place.
I saw the pictures.
Like I said, be lucky you made it out alive. For you to complain about $400, see now you brought it up. Like I said, a shirt can cost $400. Y'all remember the MasterCard commercials? Blouse, $400. Your life, priceless.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's right. An Uber would have been, how much an Uber?
It would have been $30 or $40. You can afford it, honey.
You can afford it.
But I will say this to Haley's parents, just be her parent right now. Just be her parent. Haley, get yourself some help.
That's right.
I'm going to say this, whether you're a celebrity or not, that was a DUI. There might be some consequences for your actions. Real talk.
And of course, what I wonder is, okay, so this happened. How many other times has she been under the influence?
Well, reportedly, this is the second. And I'm going to bring up Nancy Lee Graham real quick, and then we're going to get into the recap. I understand a lot of people is upset about what she said. However, and I totally got what Nancy was saying. It's like, let's know the facts first, because I feel as though there were some things that may be not, said here and there for the privacy, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, here's what I'm going to say. I actually lost a friend to this type of accident a couple of years ago. Yeah. I have another friend who lost his brother because of this accident. 2 different accidents. I'm going to say this. Once you get behind the wheel, you as a driver, you have the ultimate responsibility of being responsible. If you are under the influence or whatnot and you're unable to drive, here's what you do. You come out of that car and you call yourself an Uber. You can always get your car back the next day when you sober up or anything like that. But it's not worth killing somebody, killing yourself, and a $400 freaking shirt. Girl, you're starting to sound like a reality TV show person to me right now. So with that being said, I need for everybody, like I said, if you are listening to the show right now and you may have a problem, get some help. If you know somebody who is showing red flags and whatnot, don't ignore the signs. You go over there, knock on the door. Hey, we need to go. We need to talk. Let's clear some air out. Whoever is a part of her support system, I'm faulting all of y'all because somebody knew something, because this is not the first. Yeah, they're saying this is the second, but how do we know? And yes, I know Haley was on State of Mind. I know that. I know she was dealing with some stuff too. I do know that. But at the end of the day, seriously, this could have been a whole hell of a lot worse.
Oh, for sure.
A whole hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I just wanted, I thank you again for letting me air out that, because I'm still frustrated. I'm still frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Still. So, all right. So now we're going into today's Lives, I guess. And by the way, congratulations, Brandon Brosh, on your new addition to your family coming this year.
Oh yeah, sure. He's gonna have a
Yep.
gonna have a baby. They're gonna have a baby. They just got married. 2 weeks ago?
It seemed like it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Seemed to.
I saw that and I said, "Oh, he just got married." I'm sure I just saw just a few weeks ago they got married, and that was fast.
So now that we're on to Brandon, let's go with Gabby and Stefan. And what do you like about them? And what don't you like about them?
Well, not much these days because she's leaving.
Oh yeah, that's the other big news. That was the other big news.
Yeah,
but
I
get it. I understand why she's doing it. I get it. I totally get it.
Look, she's coming forward, and I've been talking to different people about the state of affairs today, and like she says, everything is just too much. Life is getting to be too much. And she came out and said that which I didn't know, her father had committed suicide. So, yeah. So she's being forthright, which is good, and she's newly married, so she wants to go in a different direction. So good, good for her.
Yes.
And they're nasty on social media about her. I mean, I go and I say she's an actress, for goodness sake, I don't know how her or a lot of them can take it. It's like I said, she said it's too much, so too much for her to handle.
I mean, like you just said, she's newly married. She wants to start a family. She's young, and I'm going to say this is that she's been on the show for 13 years, on and off, and I think I need to say that because there was times where she was not on Days of Our Lives. She was doing other projects before COVID. She was not on the show. So, I will say that it's been an honor to see her grow. Because I remember, Camilla, I remember when you was on One Life to Live as Lola, girl.
Yep.
What's up, girl?
I do too.
Hey. But the thing is that I've also seen some things, and I can separate certain things from certain things. But I will say is I saw a lot of people say, "Oh my God, they're going to kill her off." And if you read the Soap Opera Digest interview, I don't think we have to worry about that. I think I want to see where this goes, to be honest.
Well, I look at it that it's got to get to these actors. I mean, and I was talking to Pam about it, and I said, I want one of those love stories on Days that it's a happy ending. I mean, there isn't any. I mean, okay, we need drama and whatever, but I know I wanted a softer side of Gabby and everyone. She's just been thrown. It's like in a washing machine. She's back and forth and all these different ones. And I was hoping that it would work out.
She's been through the ringer.
Yes. And it's got to. I don't care what anybody says. It's got to take its toll on. They're actors, but still, after a while, it's a drag. And I blame Ron, but somebody else came in and said, "Oh no, it's not he. It's not him. It's this one and that one, and they do the storylines." But I mean, it's just I want somebody to have a happy ending. I mean, and I know that a lot of the fans are upset about Bo and Hope with the storyline. I mean, we were built up. They're coming back, and how wonderful. And I mean, it's just very disappointing.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is what happens when, okay, here, I'm going to get in trouble tonight. I apologize.
You're not.
Here's the thing about the Bo and Hope storyline, and I think I said this, is that, the Bo and Hope stuff was originally for the second part of Beyond Salem, which was on Peacock. Mm-hmm. The Peacock deal happened sooner than people thought it was going to be. Okay. So you have Bo and Hope back on the main show. But reality is they're on a show with other storylines going on. And yes, even though this is a moment, it's for some people it's not the moment, if you see what I'm saying. Like, I know a lot of Bo and Hope fans were upset because they felt as though, well, wait a minute, they should get all the attention, you know, and I get it. I totally get it. But also at the same time, we have Stayla, we have Selena, we just got a lot going on Days of Our Lives that this can't, you know what I'm saying? Because everything was a flow. Everything was a flow with the storyline. I will say this,
but don't you think it would have been refreshing if they did have like a really good storyline with Bo and Hope?
Well, they did. Well, here's the thing.
It was.
Well, there was. Here's the thing. Okay, for the people in the back who can't stand Ron Carlivati, right, for whatever reason, okay. And then you had the people who was rah-rah for Ron, but then when this story of Bo and Hope came out, everybody jumped on the bandwagon, right? We want Ron Carlivati fired. I want to give a shout-out to Jamie Giddens. I want to give a shout-out to Jamie Giddens, who is leaving Days of Our Lives writing team to do some other things. He addressed that real quick and said, don't blame Ron, because Ron actually had a really good story for Bo and Hope, including a reunion. The person that everybody should be mad at or upset with is an executive producer who cut that. And this is where Candace, was like, I tried to tell y'all, y'all didn't listen. Because I get when you're upset with a writer because they've done some things, but like I said, I was one of the people who defended him because I explained that the way it works is that
he's got a boss. There's another.
Right, he has. Here's the thing. He actually has three bosses. Ron has three bosses. So we have Albert R., who's the co-executive producer of Days, Ken Corday, and also Steve Kent and Peacock. But Peacock is not. They're still learning about soap, but it's Sony and Ken Corday. So when all of that came out, I think a lot of Days fans backpedaled and trying to figure out, okay, what other stories were supposed to go a certain direction but got canned because of Ken Corday, Albert, and Steve Kent. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like this was an intentional thing. It was just, and not for nothing, I'm going to go back to this. Peter and Kristen Alfonso, hi, y'all should have came past Take Two Radio, by the way, on your press tour, but okay. When it was announced that there was only going to be 15 episodes, that was another thing that kind of drowned the storyline a little bit. I will say this.
Well, I think we were all seduced in that. They're going to be good for another 2 years. I just hope they don't get.
It's like and that's a positive right there. That's a positive.
Yeah.
And the fact that Peter Ruckel did say that Ken Corday has reached out to him, and again, Days of Our Lives has not finished the year yet. They're still in even though Ron did write up till he has an outline for till December, but they haven't really done anything until November yet, filming wise. So this is me. Hi, this is me. I'm here for the adventure because the fact that out of this storyline of the Bo stuff, Steve and Kayla got the most play, which I know for a lot of fans, Steve and Kayla, the lack of screen time for Steve and Kayla has always been an issue for them. So to me, I really enjoyed seeing Steve and Kayla. I enjoyed seeing Bo and Kayla, especially Bo getting on Kayla's nerves. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying Bo as the bat. Again, yes, this is a Days of Our Lives warehouse where everybody comes back with amnesia or brainwash or something. We had Robo John, Robo Steve, Robo Chad, Robo Ben, Robo Gina, Robo. But you see what I'm saying? Everybody has been programmed to, But I liked it because they included Victor Kiriakis. And I was like, so good. Yeah. And then you have Megan. And I was like, okay. I enjoyed it because also you had Harris and Hope, because we said this. If you watch Beyonce on 2, there was a question proposed there. If Harris wasn't brainwashed, how was Hope in his relationship? And we saw that. Now, what I did not like is when Bo told Harris, like, don't say nothing to Hope. And Harris Harris could have been a real douche, y'all, and not say anything. But he told Hope. But what I didn't like is, Hope, sweetie, you're acting like this man committed murder. You was all like, well, she didn't say I love you, but she was like, in lust or something like that with Harris. But as soon as she heard about Bo, it was like, flip the script, gotta go. I was, like I said, I was fine with it. I was fine with the Sean part of it. I know a lot of people wasn't, but because he's a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to feel that way.
Right, and not only that, you don't know what type of person. Yeah, you see your dad and your mom, but you don't know what kind of influence this man who is your father is under.
Right. And
you being a cop, you gotta. Sorry, but that's real life. You gotta act quick and everything. I was fine. I mean, like I said, he ain't dead. He in a coma. He squeezed her hand. I'm holding out for a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, we launched that one in. But I mean, I like the beats, and we did find out that because it was something that. Well, no, there was something that was very pressing because a lot of people said, "Oh my God, John Anderson is gone. We need Bo and Victor. We need Victor, stuff like that." If you did fast forward days, you missed this moment. Caroline, did you catch that moment when Maggie? Okay.
No.
So Maggie and Victor know Bo is alive.
Oh, okay.
They went to Greece where he's, the rehabilitation center. So Victor does know and has seen Bo. Which is
interesting.
See, that's why I'm like, okay, like to me, I feel as though, and Peter Rucker was like saying, well, we don't know how the audience is going to react to Bo and Hope. I totally get that, understand that, because we have to realize that, yes, we know the importance of Bo and Hope. Yeah. There's a new generation that they know who Bo and Hope is, but that's not on their radar.
Yeah, they don't get it. Well, while we're talking about Bo and Hope, we're talking about Hope. I loved it when Hope was with Aiden. I loved that storyline.
Oh yeah. Before
there was hope for her, and it was, and then that all blew up. I felt that.
Thanks, Josh Griffin. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dean.
That was Josh.
Thank you. That was all of them. They was Because I'm not gonna lie. I loved Hope and Aiden. When I say that I love Haiti, I loved Hope and Aiden until Chase raped Sierra. Remember Chase? You remember that kid raped Sierra, and then Aiden became a douchebag. I was like, what the heck? What is we doing here? But I think for me, it's like, okay, Hope moved on, but now Bo is back, right? And that's the greatest love of her life.
Yeah.
Right. To me, you have Sean that's conflicted because he shot his father. Well, that gives you some angst. That gives you some angst, Sean. With Sierra, I was like, hey, girl. Dave, you got me upset, though. I'm sorry, Sin fans. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it for the people who are afraid to say it, because some Sin fans also said it, too. So you mean to tell me she pregnant again?
No, yep.
Y'all couldn't have her saying she want to be a cop. Y'all didn't want to. But I will give credit where credit's due, because I was thinking of a certain person, and I was so glad they brought up Chelsea, who's also having a baby. Yeah. Chelsea's pregnant too. I'm telling you, miracle baby. God. Miracle baby, because remember, she couldn't have none. That's just like somebody else on this show.
Oh, I
Not
forgot
on this
about
show.
that.
I'm talking about Dave. Yeah. So Chelsea and Sierra are both pregnant. Bo's in a coma. Hope is going to wait for her hero.
And Nicole's pregnant. Who do you think's going to be the daddy?
If I was writing the show, it would be EJ. But because they're pushing the narrative, it's going to be Eric.
Okay.
You want to? Well, he did propose today.
Well, who do you want it to be? Who do you want it to be?
I want it to be EJ.
Well, I think
David?
for drama purposes, I think you'd get better story if it turned out to be EJ.
Really?
I think
okay, I'm going to tell you why I said why I'm feeling this way. Let the record show that EJ and Nicole has lost a kid. They lost what, 2
right.
kids, maybe one, right? One.
Yeah. Wasn't when she fell down the steps like how many years ago? 10 years ago now.
10
Was
years
that
ago.
not easy?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have that Nicole and Eric, they've been so close and everything, and Holly is like his daughter too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem, and I'm glad Saloni Baloney, but I gotta give her props. Lord, that episode. But Salone had the right narrative, because my whole issue is, and let me address, because I had to say this to somebody. It's not that Nicole couldn't have children. We want to clear this up. She couldn't carry it because of the scarring, because of scar tissues and everything else like that.
Yeah.
But
okay. So it's a miracle baby. It's gonna be a miracle baby.
Well, the thing is that if she can carry it to term, that's the thing. Because it was never okay. The reason that she was afraid to have a baby is because she couldn't carry it to full term because of scar tissue,
right. Yeah.
Which is real truth there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in a perfect world, because of everything that's happened, it would be Eric's baby, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be, Eric Cole's baby, But
that might be
the purpose, right? But for the purpose of the history as well as, because I'm noticing something with Ron and them. Notice I said Ron and them. Of their investment in the DeMera family. Y'all notice that? Have y'all noticed that change?
Okay.
That the DeMera, I feel as though it would be better suited, especially because EJ has lost a lot in the year. He lost his mama. Sammy ain't nowhere. Technically speaking, Johnny DeMera, I don't know what happened to that baby, but okay. It's like this would gain another thing for EJ. EJ will slowly become his father, okay? Now
talking about EJ's mama, Stacy's coming back. Who do you think she's coming back as, Kristen or Susan?
Well, she's already there as Kristen. Because we think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing about, so back to that whole Eric Nicole thing, because here's the thing, the drama is going to be if it is Eric's baby, because, and I said this, you got Salone who said it. Oh, it's okay for you to carry a child, but nobody else can carry Eric's baby.
Uh-oh.
And I was like this. I was like, she ain't lying. She's not lying, because that's still fresh. Like I said, once Jada finds out, and look, y'all, I know Jada made a decision. Nicole didn't push her, but Nicole did put some seeds into her mind, okay? Let me clear that up. So to me, Jada better have something to say about this, because it's not fair that regardless of the situation, she did not carry through with her child, with Eric. I don't know. Like I said, it's interesting.
Any chance that Sloan could be pregnant or get pregnant as well?
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Well, there is another DeMera.
Well, here's the thing about Saloni Baloney. The FBI of Days of Our Lives fandom as I call them. They're the FBI. You know they screenshot everything.
Yeah.
Something tells me that we may have another pregnancy in town.
Oh, well, we gotta of all of this, we're gonna have a new baby. We're gonna have a baby, and hopefully it's Nicole.
I feel like doing like Law and Order or CSI Salem. I don't know. That should be a show right there. Law and Order Salem. Because I would actually watch that show. Actually,
there you go.
I might too. But do we have a new Demira
yes,
on
do.
the screen?
Yes.
Carolyn, do you know we have a new one?
No.
You don't know? Oh my God!
No, I know. It's a long story,
No.
Candace. So you're filling me in.
Okay. So we found out that Dimitri, who was on Beyond Salem season 1, right? He's also an Alame. He's He's Carly's cousin. Carly and Max's cousin. Okay, keep this in mind.
No, he's not. He's not an Alame. He's a Von Lochner.
Oh well, but that's technically. Oh yeah, that's right.
They're the other.
Well, it's still in the same realm as Alame's. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but he's still Carly's cousin, stuff like that. Anyway, so we found out Megan was like, I have a son too. And we found out that Dimitri is her son while he is holding Kate. And we found out that he also was holding Andrew hostage on the book. So Dimitri is a Demira on his mama's side. But guess what? We don't know who his daddy is.
Well, they're making a great big deal out of guessing. Do we know? Do we know for sure though?
Okay. So again, CSI DNA Salem. All right. Here's the thing. If it's who I think it is, I want people to understand this right now. There's no retcon. There's no all of a sudden. Before Bo and Hope, there was Megan and Bo. Okay? Megan and Bo was high school sweethearts. Bo knocked Megan up. Megan allegedly was supposed to get an abortion or give the baby up. But hindsight, because her mother, Megan's mother, did not like Bo at all. She thought Bo was scum, okay? And this is back in the early 80s, so take a look on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyway, the only person that knew something was up with the baby was Roman.
Oh, okay.
But we are under the conclusion that the baby went poof, abortion, adoption, whatever. The baby was gone. So, if this baby is Bo Brady's, again, there ain't no recon, baby. This is history. I'm telling you, this is going to be that means this child is a part of the Kyriakis family. Oh my God, this is getting too much. And Megan has lived. This is like, I'm going to tell you something. This is the equivalent of Laura or General Hospital having a Cat-9 baby. I'm telling you, come on, Dave, don't be afraid. I know some people are like, well, you can't have a story without Bo. Like I said, they talked to Peter Brackle.
Yes,
we don't know anything. I'm just saying, let's go. We got a Kyriakis with a Von Spencer and a Jameer. Oh my, that's assault.
There you go. That's quite a storyline. It's 20 after 8, almost 20 after 8. So if you want to get going on the
20 after. I only have 8 after.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, 10 after.
Yeah.
I got 10 after.
We still got 3 others to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Where do you want to go next?
GH?
Oh, Lord. This ain't going to take long.
All right.
This ain't going to take long. Willow still what?
Candace?
Willow still, yeah.
Did you see it today?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tracy's saying to chase what everybody else on social media is saying about him. I can't believe it. She didn't hold anything back. And that's just
I wish she went off on the whole town instead of Chase. Chase is the least of my problems with the show. Oh, y'all talking about the storyline. Okay. Okay. So I'm glad that she said that to Chase.
She doesn't like
but
it.
I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, well.
Or so she says. Or so she says.
I think she does. I think, okay, this is giving me when Brooklyn did not like Luke, when Luke and Tracy got married and everything, because Brooklyn is seriously her grandmother's granddaughter, okay? There's some, and GH, I need for y'all to really play that beat, that Brooklyn is Tracy 2.0 just a little bit. Not all, but a little bit. I wish I could still care about the Chase and Brooklyn storyline. I really do. But I feel as though they dropped the ball so far down that I've now started shipping Chase with other people.
I'm holding out hope. I'm thinking.
I held out as much hope as I could. I was even playing, holding out for a hero, keep hope alive. I was doing all of that. I was singing everything like hope, 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 hope. And then I realized, how much hope do I have left? And they're going to have to really do something to win me back. That's what I was, because it makes no sense. When I say they dropped the ball on Chase in Brooklyn, I mean they dropped it all the way down to the ground to where every little piece crumbled to even when the dust blew off.
They did. I have to admit that myself. You heard me say it on the earlier podcast that I wish that this part never happened.
I wish they never did the Eddie Main stuff.
Was the only thing good that he can sing. I'm glad for that, and I understand the assignment of that storyline. But at the same time, I was like, Lord, what the heck is happening here? Like, it's weird. You can write for 2 other couples on the show, but this was supposed to be one of your big couples. I should say 3. I'm sorry, but this should have been. This should have been something, and sadly, it was nothing. I'm sorry, David. I'm sorry to the Chase and Brooklyn fans out there. I still support you guys. It's going to take a while for me to get back on that train.
In other words, you're very disappointed.
I'm disappointed on all layers. Yeah. And I can't say, and here's the thing, I can't say it's the actors, chemistry, because we literally have 2 Brooklyns. It's the writing. It's really the writing for this.
It's the writing.
The
actors deserved a little better.
I'm going to tell you this. This was before Spencer and Trina with Chase in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So that tells you how long we've been on this train. I'm just, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I hope something happens. I like them together. I mean, the chemistry is there. It is present. Every time you look at them, they just have to write accordingly to it. And I don't know why. And I'm trashing the writers. I don't want to do it because of the circumstances that we're in now.
Yeah. You don't want to say anything against the writers. Whoa.
I mean, I'm going to say this. It does not make sense that literally Chase in Brooklyn has been tiptoeing around for almost 2 years now. Literally. Yeah. We went from Chase to Willow to Chase being in the wheelchair, being unemployed, eating a box of Cheerios, watching Disney Hulu Plus. We know what you did, ABC.
Yeah.
Then you go ahead and you're honoring, Wally Kurth with the whole Eddie Main, the son, the rebirth of it, trying to recon what Lewis and Ned had with Chase in Brooklyn. Then you had the baby storyline in the mix of all of this, because that's how Chase got involved. it's because of the baby. Then you go ahead and you have Leo, poor baby Leo. He's doing a Disney Channel movie, Love Potion #9. They get to admit their feelings and stuff like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Then you got some trouble with the music. It fell flat.
It's flat.
Like it fell flatter than a B flat. Like flat. Like what was the cartoon? What was the cartoon with the flat? It was a flat cartoon. Like he would just walk around. He would just be flat.
Oh, I can't.
Like
flat. Gumby?
Not Gumby.
You talking Gumby?
No. Gumby has more of a story than Chase in Brooklyn.
Apparently.
Right.
Yeah. Josh and Amanda deserved a little better treatment than what they got, even though they
and we know they can act.
We know they can. They just, you got to give it to them. Give them that.
You know what? Good. I'm not a part of the union. I will gladly write for that. I'm not trying to use this to get a job, but sadly that's another report, too, that some writers are trying to get a job regarding the strike. It's messy. But now, I'm like, how do you... I'm just like, okay. All right, GH. What's the next topic?
What's the next one? You want to do Victor's will? Oh, that hasn't come yet. But
what's the rumor on? Let me see. What's the rumor on General Hospital? What's happening? There's rumors flying around. Are they true?
About Ken Shriner?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. What I'm about to say does not are not the views of Take Two Radio. All opinions of Candace's alone. With that being said, this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time that Ken Shriner, who we've had on the show, and I love him dearly and everything else in between, has come out and said this.
They're saying that. Yeah, they're saying that. I know that they're saying that on social media.
I will say this. Half of me, even though I just said what I said, half of me actually believes it.
No,
because of given situations. They made a point to say he was going to see Serena, a character we have not seen on General Hospital since the actor who played Lee Baldwin passed away.
Right.
So I'm like, is it one of those things where, again, contract negotiations, because he wasn't recurring for a while, did it fall through or whatnot? I'm going to hold my breath. Right, or if it's just another, okay, right now we're going to put your character on hold until further notice, where we can have and bring you back for more storyline. Which, if they do something with Bobby, he better be there for it. Just saying. So I'm kind of torn because, like I said, this isn't the first. This isn't the second, third, fourth, fifth time, but I do need some clarification. Because you just can't post that on social media without giving us an explanation or for the show. And let me just say that for the show to follow up and either confirm or deny it.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, is that tweet still up? Because I know, like some other actors, when they post stuff, they delete it. I'm not saying no names.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it since that came out. I did see it when it came out.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it since.
I wanted to know your views on that because that was flying on social media, and I thought, I gotta ask Candace and David what's going on and what they feel.
I take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I take it. If, like I said, I'm 50-50 now. I will say this: if it is true, General Hospital, you deserve a lot of backlash because the character itself. the character of Scotty Baldwin has been around for 60 years on General Hospital. Ken Shriner did not originate the role. However, Ken Shriner has been on and off that show for the last 40-something years. Again, where was his episode, his anniversary episode? I'm just saying, forefront. And he is, and I will say this, him, Jackie, Leslie Charleston, Stuart Damon, Jeannie Francis, Tony Geary, and some others, they helped build this house that's called General Hospital. So if they did do this, that is effed up on so many levels.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess it'll just play out, and we'll all wait. Okay, where are we going now? Y&R?
Yeah, let's go to Y&R.
Let's go to Y&R.
See, I'm woke now. Now I'm up. Woo! All right. So people found out that Phyllis is alive. Mainly the core, Kyle, Michael, Jack, then Chris Cricket, Diane, who, was like, okay, I know I did my things, but she wanted me to rot in prison, da-da-da-da-da. And then you got Summer, who is just baffled because of Daniel kind of spinning the story, saying that Phyllis reached out to him instead of reaching out to Summer, because actually that's the truth. Phyllis reached out to Summer and not Daniel, which Daniel is kind of feeling a certain type of way, but, he's trying to hold it all together, and he decided to tell the truth because he told Diane, like,
she's
pretty
not
much told Kyle, like, you're not going to prison. And Michael, who told Daniel and everybody not to say anything until they got further proof that Phyllis was alive. And Diane was like, how do you know I'm not going to go to prison? So everybody was, like, looking at Daniel. Daniel was like, because you got the best lawyer. You got the best lawyer in town. And then Kyle wants to tell Summer that her mother is alive. And Daniel was like, no, like, just like, kind of keep it to ourselves and stuff like that. So that's when I guess they're assuming that Phyllis and Stark planned to fake Phyllis's death, not knowing, like, obviously Daniel knows about what happened. That's why he's having some issues. But yeah, like, everybody else is like, they're finding out slowly about Phyllis being alive. So yeah. David, what do you think about that? Did you like the twist that Daniel was going to be the one to say it?
I think he's hedging his bet because he didn't actually. He's doing it to protect Summer, but I don't know if he can actually go through with it. I mean, it's hard because he can't say anything for certain. I mean, we don't know that was Phyllis that called him. It could have been, but he doesn't have it. He can't prove that it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm praying. I mean, I don't know how it's going to happen. Chance is sort of on the Summer.
Mhm.
And what she did, she wants him to help her. So I'm. This is intriguing. For one thing, this is intriguing. This is our Phyllis that we love, causing all sorts of trouble. What is she? 1990s Phyllis. We're getting to see. Yeah.
That's 90s Phyllis. My whole thing is that I've said this a couple of times. Is Summer doesn't really know Phyllis the way that Daniel, Jack, Michael, Nick, and some other people do, because just like another character on another CBS show, Summer has been babyfied a little bit. She's been cuddled.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel knows what kind of person his mother is. For God's sake, he knows that she's the type of person that will lie about your DNA just so you can get close to your stalker. Yeah, Carolyn, that's what happened with Phyllis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Daniel's not really Danny Romalotti's true biological son like everybody thought. It was somebody else. But because Phyllis was obsessed with Danny, she said it was Danny Romalotti's son. I'm telling you, people and their rock stars. I'm so glad nobody's obsessed like that on the show.
I know.
So apparently there might have been something that said that. I don't know.
There might have been.
So Daniel knows what type of person Phyllis is. However, I think also another thing is that he's trying to find a way where he's protecting her, protecting Summer, but he's also looking out for Diane in a sense. And
I did see that.
He's doing too much. He's doing too much. And then you got Jack over there. He's all like, we're going to find out the truth. First and foremost, Jack, let the cops handle this, because you and Kyle are not know CSI General City coming soon to CBS this fall. So let Chance, even though Chance, I wouldn't put you in the same category as Rafe, but you're almost there, buddy. Because how you do not have none of these evidence, like the fact that everybody knows a little bit more than you, and you're investigating this. We got some issues here. But I do say this: I'm noticing because of what's going on with Phyllis. Even though this is going to be a Thor with Kyle and Summer's merch, I'm noticing Summer and Chance hanging out a little too much.
A little too much. I see Waters being tested too.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind, but just saying.
They look nice.
That's cute. I mean, you want some angst,
Yep.
He
hasn't had any in a while.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
he hasn't had.
I mean,
well, what direction would you like it to take if you were? And now that we're talking about the writer's strike, what would you throw in there?
What would Candace do if she was in charge of Young and Restless? I would definitely have a full-fledged. Look, here's my thing. Okay. Picture it. General City. Candace's version. Okay.
2023.
2023.
Because here's the thing. I always say history has a funny way of coming into the present. Take a look at what happened.
History repeats itself.
Right, history repeats itself. Because this is my thing. Because of Cassie's death, we all remember Cassie. Let's go.
Yeah.
We got Phyllis and Nick. Okay?
Right.
To me, with Kyle and Summer, the first major test was Lola. The second was keeping Kyle keeping this thing about Billy and Summer, to himself, as stuff like that, which, by the way, never came out. Then you have the whole Harrison, Baby Harrison, cute baby. Can't wait to see him this summer. So to me, it's like, all right, so far their marriage has stood the test. Like, they're literally the 20-year-old couple, the 20-year couple that has so far faced a lot together. Her being a Newman and him being an Abbott, come on now, that's right there. That's trouble. So the way I would write it is, well, so far it's already fallen into place because they had to take sides with their mothers. Yeah, even though they made a pact not to do it. However, because of this, because Summer kept the secret. Yeah, because Summer was the one who kept the secret first. Because her mother was pushing her, saying, no, we're going to get Diane in jail. Summer went along with that. So if Candace was writing it, once Kyle finds out about everything that happens, him and Summer are going to get into it and whatnot. Kyle is going to say you knew that your mother was alive this whole time, and Daniel lied to save you. Like, you couldn't come to me. I'm your husband, okay? You wanted my mother to go to jail for something that she did not do. Are you exact? Because Kyle has said Summer is just like her mother. That was another effect. I can see Summer, because she has the Newman DNA in her, waddle in alcohol. And I can see Chance being the white knight and saying, "Are you okay?" I can see Summer kissing Chance. I can see it. It's going to be like a parallel, even though Phyllis isn't dead. But because of her fake death, it caused a ripple effect in Kyle and Summer's marriage. Because Summer went along with the plan. There's got to be some consequences. So,
yeah. So secrets and trust and betrayal and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I would write the show.
There you go. Okay, so before we go on.
What do you think, David?
I'm thinking something about Sharon's Sharon has a secret admirer. Do we think who it is, Candace?
Yep.
You think it's him?
Yep. 110.
Oh,
actually, I'm gonna bet something. Yaga Rasa, Josh Griffin, I am betting right now my Target gift card that that it has to be
that?
Cameron. It has to be Cameron.
For those who don't know who Cameron Kirsten is?
Cameron is the abuser who beat up Sharon early 2000s. Yeah.
No other. I hear someone put on. Well, maybe this person who put it on social media didn't watch Lion that far back, so they're thinking it's Ray.
Okay. I hear
maybe
you guys. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I have to Carolyn said if I was in charge of Young and the Rustlers, how would I do this? Personally, because it's the 50th anniversary and because, I want to bring, again, the history into the present, right? But there's a tie-in to some of the stuff that I'm about to say. If it's Ray, okay, I'm glad that Jordy's back, but I don't see him, I don't see him reaching out the way that this person is reaching out to Sharon. Because
he wasn't like that.
Well, then again, we got to think back to how Ray first started. Because Ray was a little creepy trying to get information from Sharon regarding the JT situation, right? Okay.
Right.
So, but hindsight is, no. And that's just me saying it because I like where this could go. If it's Cameron again, this ties into Sharon finally getting the storyline. 1, 2.
One.
The wine bottle. Here's how. See, you have to be. See, earlier I said like FBI, Days of Our Lives fans, right? But here's where you are the CSI, the CIA, all that. If you're a Young and the Rustlers fan, you recognize that bottle. Because that is the exact same bottle of wine that Sharon bopped Cameron upside his head and killed him with, allegedly. Because also it had red smidge. Oh, yes. Red smidge on it, which is blood.
Oh, I saw it.
Because even Sharon, remember Sharon said, this bottle looks awfully familiar. I bet it does, Sharon. Yeah. And not for nothing. Okay, here we go. I swear, if this happens, I want my Venmo. I think this would be a perfect opportunity because here's the thing. Do we know anything about that baby's biological parents?
We don't.
What if that's Cameron's grandchild that Mariah and Tessa had? Right.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh, Caroline.
Because here's the thing. Here's another thing, Caroline. Cameron is also the one that I believe he killed Frank, which is Cassie's and I guess Mariah's biological father. Yep. Yep.
You remember that? Oh my God. She has such a memory, Carolyn. I can't even think that far back.
See, this is what happens when. See, this is how it's supposed to be. I said this last night because I know because the top three candidates that people are speculating is Ray, Matt Clark, which I won't be mad at if they get the right person to play him, Rick Hurst, or Cameron. But because there was an interview Sharon Case said that this is going to have Nick involved in this, right? So I was like, okay, it has to still be Cameron because again, the tie-in is that baby. I believe that baby is Cameron's grandchild, and I believe that Cameron found out that Sharon is the grandmother. And I'm saying this right now. I'm calling it. Timestamp it. This is going to be some angst for Mariah and Tessa. It's going to be for Nick, Adam, and Sally because I don't know what that is. And for Sharon to finally get a storyline.
That's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
We want Sharon Case to have a storyline.
See, when she said this bottle looks familiar, I'm like, and sure enough, do. Bop, 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 bop. Come on, Josh. Don't let me down. Please don't let me down. I've been really good. With Young and the Restless, baby. I need this.
And if not, you're going to be...
I'll be going out to California real quick. Because one thing is that... Because this is one of those things where, okay, I have to do this. Josh Griffin likes to write from the time that he was on the show before, he was let go and went over to Days and then came back with the Younger Russells. Anyway, to me, if you're going to include Nick in this, it's like, okay, what storyline can we present that is suitable for the new viewers as well as the old viewers? Because a lot of people, like you just said, not everybody knows who Cameron is. And that's fine because you probably wasn't watching at the time and also because certain writers forgot to talk about it when Victoria was abused, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. For the new audience, you know Ray. But some people don't remember the origins of Ray, just like with Amanda. People forgot about how Amanda first came on the show, right? Okay.
Right.
To me, the tie-in would be you got Mariah and Tessa with this baby, with this beautiful baby, right? But there's something that we kept saying. We don't know the biological mom's parents. We don't know nothing. Can you imagine if we find out that, because Mariah doesn't know Cameron. Tessa doesn't know Cameron. Unless, oh my God, wait a minute, I just flipped the script. Hold on, writer's brain, hold on. Oh my God. What if Cameron is Tessa's father? Lord Jesus!
Oh Lord.
Oh my God. This is getting deep. Okay, I'm going to stop myself. Moving on to another storyline. Hurry up because I'm already writing the story in my head.
Oh my God. So, you want to go B&B?
Yeah, I'm still stuck with my idea, though. That could have sounded bad. Somehow, some way, Cameron is connected to either that baby or to Tessa.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Come through, Young and Russells. Seriously, when you get back off of the race, seriously, hire me. Just hire me. That's all I ask. I love daytime. Okay, to Bold and the Beautiful.
To Bold and the Beautiful.
I mean, there's only one story that everybody's talking about. Hope is so conflicted with her feelings for Thomas. There you go.
Yep, that's it. And I still don't get why now all of a sudden. It doesn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense when
Well, see, that's the point. That's the part that I'm having is I want to know when did this start.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be honest. I'm so against. Okay. Carolyn, you're going to understand how I'm feeling because you know how when you're watching a soap like Days of Our Lives, right? And there's like a storyline, and then all of it's like that was supposed to be addressed maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, and then all of a sudden, bam, now they're dealing with it, and it's like out of the blue.
Yeah.
And you need some like you need explanation, right? Because you witnessed all of this in real time. So to me, I'm having a problem with this Hope Thomas thing because I feel as though, all right, I know all the stuff Thomas has done to Hope. And the big one was keeping her daughter away from, like, knowing the truth about her daughter being alive. That is the big thing for me. Thomas has done a lot of things over the years regarding whether it was to his own family or mainly to Hope. Another fact is that we never saw Caroline, played by Lindsay Godfrey. By the way, hey, girl. Because he came back and said that Caroline had said that she wanted Hope to be kind of the mommy figure for Douglas.
And we've
never seen concrete evidence of that.
Okay.
So the fact is that Thomas emotionally has Hope warped. Okay. Now with Hope has always been on the straight and narrow. Now let me clarify something. As a Hope fan, I can honestly say that's a lie because Hope has done some hoish things. When Steffi and Liam was together, how do you think Hope got pregnant? Because Liam and her, they did the horizontal lumbar, dance and everything while he was still married to Steffi. Okay. You don't want to be like your mother, Hope. Well, here's the funny thing about wife. You are if this show was, because I feel as though the alternate universe is this. Hope is really Taylor's daughter, and Steffi is really Hope's daughter. I mean, Brooke's daughter. Because
I thought that from the beginning.
Yeah, because literally Hope and Steffi are the vertical difference of their mothers, right? Okay. Hope has seen a lot going on in her life since she was a little girl. Again, the reason she is here is because her then brother-in-law slept with her mother. Because Deacon was with Bridget. And Anyway, Hope wants to stay, and she's seen Katie, Donna. She looks at Steffi. Steffi's been through the whole family, too, and seen the consequences and everything. She's seen the consequences with her mother. So she's trying to break that pattern. Hope has been babyfied the majority of her life as well because she does not want to fall in that category. But at the same time, she's having feelings for somebody who has caused her nothing but pain. And the fact that Thomas has had an unhealthy obsession with her. And the fact that Liam, now here's the thing, for those who said this, Liam has every right to freak out.
Yeah, he does.
He does. Because he knows what Thomas does to Hope and how Hope has been extra nice because of Douglas to Thomas. But like Liam said, how many times can you give this man an out, okay? Another factor, too, is Hope has nobody to talk to regarding her conflicting feelings. She can't talk to her husband, because God forbid, right? She can't talk to none of her family members. She can't even talk to her mother. Brooke even said, are you having feelings for Thomas? Like, is hope for the future really necessary for Thomas? Because that's the only reason Thomas is back there, is to help with hope for the future. And then Hope said, well, I'm just pretending that I like him, that I'm being friends. And then, of course, Thomas overheard. And then, Hope and her anxiety, which, by the way, is true to character because she does have anxiety issues because she OD on some pills. But it's just, this is all new to her. And she does not know what to do with these feelings. But my question to the writers is, when did this start? Because...
When? Yeah.
Right, because I need to know, because Steffi was like, I know what I saw. Do you have feelings for him, Hope? Like, I think it's been you all this time that's been leading him on. Okay, all right, well, y'all pressured her to do so. And see, half of me thinks that, too, is that Hope feels is that she has to be, quote-unquote, the example of, okay, I know Thomas did a lot of bad things, but I'm going to give him another chance. Because I feel as though, like, if he gets another chance from somebody like me, he won't do things ever again. But now that Thomas kind of putting two and two together, I don't know. I'm so conflicted. I get the drama, but I'm conflicted because I don't know when this started.
Exactly.
And some people
Carolyn, where did it start?
Yeah. Please tell me when.
I don't think you should go back, Candace. I really can't. Just air it all out. Just air it all out.
Yep. Do we get into Sheila?
Oh. That's the thing I'm talking about. Okay, Finn. Glad that you finally had your moment with Sheila, but Bold and Beautiful, this should have been a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I was going to say something. It's going to be nice, because if I was writing the show, it would go in a total different way. But I feel as though the Sheila, okay. So, Steffi.
Maybe she needs a rest.
Well, no, because here's what, okay. This is, okay. I feel as though the biggest thing with soaps right now is we don't have a villain. Like, straight up, non-tumors, non-fat, brainwashed, villains, okay? My problem is that, okay, I think we've lost focus on what Sheila really wanted from the beginning, which is she wants to know Finn. She wants to know Finn so she can get closer to the Forrester family. That's what it is.
Right.
Sheila has this obsession with the Forrester family. It started over 30 years ago. Actually, today is the anniversary, I believe, of when Sheila made her appearance on The Bold and Beautiful. So congratulations. There you go. But again, this is kind of out of place for me because I feel as though, all right, Sheila is behind bars. Finn, why are you going over there? Why? Let the woman rot in prison. You're feeding her exactly what she wants to be fed. It's like, okay, if Finn is done with me, if Steffi is telling him, okay, she tried to kill us. Actually, she did kill you, Finn. You came back to life. But y'all went through a lot. And, yeah, we understand that she's your mother, but she's not your mother, if that makes sense. Lee is your mother, okay? And then, Steffi is telling you not to go over. You go over there, and you was like, you better stay away from me and my family. You better stay away from me. But you can't stay away from Sheila. You could have made a phone call. Heck, you shouldn't even made no kind of calls. You're giving her the feed. That's just like somebody on a diet. Okay, you know that this person can't have cookies. Why are you going to go over there with a half of a cookie and give it to them? What was the point of that? So to me, I need for Bo to do the following things. Have Sheila be Sheila Carter. Darn it. because I've been waiting for a certain situation. I've been waiting for that child to be kidnapped. I've been waiting for Sheila to wreak havoc on town. And I'm sorry, Steffi, you're focusing on Thomas. You should really be watching out for your marriage, because you've been like so, oh, my God, Hope and Thomas. Oh, my God, Liam, you maybe want to watch Thomas and Hope. You need to be watching Sheila and your husband and your children, because, seriously, she could come and take, snatch, kill, whatnot. And if I was writing this down, I would have Finn and Hope start talking. And y'all wouldn't have to worry about Thomas and Hope. Like I said, emotional affairs can always happen between two friends.
Mhm. And the thing is, why did they have Jack? What can Jack actually do?
I mean, have you seen him as Ted King?
Yeah, I've seen him. I just wonder what purpose he has right now.
Because Sheila knows that she got him wrapped around her finger too. You heard what she said. She said, "Oh, I was writing you letters, and I know that you can help me get out of here." Because see, the thing is that Sheila feels as though Jack will do anything for her because of the cost of Finn. Which, by the way, Bo, thank you for confirming what I already knew, that, Jack already knew Finn was alive. They had that conversation and stuff. Wish I could have saw it on TV, but I understand. Jack feels indebted, like Jack feels, he feels guilt, like he's being guilted into helping Sheila. So I don't know where this is going to go at, but I'm here for it.
Let's see what it does.
Mhm. So that's about it.
That's about it, I think. We got 9 minutes left. Any last words?
Oh, wait. I know. I've been talking the whole night, but let me just say this real quick. Forever and a Day, which is the audio series, still popular, is coming back in mid-June, because we did a mid-season finale, and we did make some casting announcements. The big one was that Tracy Ross, a.k.a. Dr. Eve Russell from Passions, is joining our cast this summer. There you go.
Oh, wonderful news. Carolyn, how about you?
Oh. What do I have to say? Well, I'm. You're going to help me out with Peacock, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that. We'll keep things going. It's all good.
Oh, that's great. So, on that note, should we say good night?
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty well.
It
covered
went pretty
it all.
well, I think.
Yeah.
If this writer's strike continues, Candace, we want you to write storylines, so at least we can have something going on.
Look. Like I said, I have so many freaking ideas in my head that is not even funny. Like,
well, put them down. Put them on paper.
Well, I will say this. It's funny because I'm actually in solidarity with the WGA, meaning I have not written anything in about 4 weeks. Like, I've been talking about it, I've been saying it, which is kind of cheating a little bit, but I haven't, and that's kind of scaring me because y'all know I like to write.
She's in solidarity.
Yeah, solidarity, yeah. So, until this writer's strike and then the SAG stuff, I'm just like, I just want everybody to be treated fairly. That's all I want. I'm the kumbaya for the soap genre.
Yeah, well, we're going to focus on that for sure. But we want backup. Well, you may be doing all the storylines.
I will say it's kind of surreal when I'm looking at the pictures of people that I, like I said, I'm friends with, and and certain colleagues and stuff and doing the picketing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I want to help so badly. Like, I just want to do something. Oh, that was another thing. Real quick before we leave. I totally forgot. Bold and Beautiful fans. Eve Basler, who is the PR of Bold and Beautiful.
Eva Basler.
Yeah. Eva, I love you, Eva. You know this. We found out that she is still in medical-induced coma because she had a tumor behind her heart and also a collapsed lung. So there's a GoFundMe. You can check out Anika Noel, Scott Clifton, Lawrence St. Victor, any of the Bold and Beautiful castmates, including, I think we reposted it too at Take Two Radio, to donate. Eva is one of the best. I'm not just saying that. She really is. And we just hope for the best. So, keep her in your prayers too. And, yeah. So I almost forgot that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful.
And on that note, we say good night.
When's the next show? When's the next show, David?
June the 12th.
It would have been the week I went to California.
Oh God, was that your week?
That was my week.
You would have left that Monday?
I literally bought that. No, I was going to go out that Wednesday. Here's real truth. I literally 2 hours before they made the official announcement, Caroline. I don't know if you noticed. You heard about this. I literally bought my plane ticket to California.
Oh.
Luckily, I got the refund, and for those who want to know, I am putting the money aside. So thank you for everybody for helping me out with that. But I'm not going to use it until we find out the exact date for the daytime Emmys because, I have my outfit and everything. Oh, thank you. Because I literally bought my outfit. I had the makeup. I was ready.
Oh.
I was ready. Greg Vaughn, I was ready for you. So, all right, on that note, we will see you
Say
June 12th.
Okay.
Good night.
June 12th.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit Take2Radio.com.